Hello again, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart, and this is stock trade ideas for the week of September 15th, 2014. Today is Sunday, September 14th, so we're going to review the three trade ideas that we're currently in: Melco Crown Entertainment, Solar City, and VLO. And then I've got a new one that we're watching on 3D Systems. All right, we're going to start off here with Melco Crown Entertainment. I just reviewed this last week, so I won't spend a whole lot of time. We haven't changed. It's basically gone sideways in here, as you can see. We got in on this day. Let me get rid of this for now. We got in right in here on the 3rd, and actually you could have entered again on the 4th. And now it's just plugged sideways, but it's held in this trading, although on Thursday it broke this high in here, okay? So I really thought it was going to run, thought it was going to close above the 10, but it didn't do that yet. That's what I'm looking for to happen here. Held up pretty strong on Friday. I mean, it was only down 23 cents when, you know, the market sell off and everything. So we'll have to see. This is day 8. So Monday is day 9, Tuesday is day 10. If I'm still in this trade at the end of day 10, I will be tightening the stop, and I'll have to look to see how I want to do that. But I will definitely be tightening up the stop, because I'm patient only to a degree, and my time stop really is 10 days, and at that point, it's time to put up or shut up. I mean, it's got to get out. It's got to do something, or I'm out. So, all right, that's Melco Crown, and the next one we're looking at is Solar City. Solar City had a nice move on Friday. So the market was down, Solar City was up. So that was nice. Now it came very close to hitting our initial point, our initial target is this is the word I'm looking for. Didn't quite get there. And again, the specifics are on the Trade Ideas webpage. You have to be a subscriber to be able to access that, but that's easy to do, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. But again, it almost hit our target, so I'm holding out. And if we hit the target, given the fact that the ADX is down here well below 20, it is starting to turn up, okay? But it's only at 15, so it's not in trending mode yet, okay? So it gets up here and hits this target, or even the top of the Keltner channels, we need to be getting rid of at least half the position. And, I think it's going to be half, because I'm hoping that what it's going to do is break this trend line and then pop and be in this wave 3. And I like this action, but you just never know. I mean, this is definitely corrective in here, okay? This could be some kind of A, B, C. But right now it's acting, very nicely according to my plan, and in the way that I like the way the 10 is breaking above the 21 in here. Let me blow it up a little bit. You can see that the 10's rising. It's breaking above the 21. 21's above the 55, above the 233. So all moving averages are aligned right now. Now, sometimes you get a pullback after the cross, but usually I like to stay with that cross. I mean, especially if it's in the direction of the 21 and 55. So we'll see. This has been a little bit choppy, but right now this is acting well. And I'm trying to remember where we got in on this thing. I think it's only been a few days. Let me look at my notes. What I always write down every day is I always say what day we're in. It was day 5. Okay, so Monday will be day 6 in the trade. Okay, so that means we got in back, I think probably, it was right up in here. Okay. All right, Solar City. Now let's look at VLO. VLO is doing very nice, and it's really getting hammered to the downside. We had puts in here. We got out. We had our target. Our initial target price was in here. So we got rid of half the puts right in here. Now we're holding the other half. This is the tough part of the trade, because yeah, you're up money. You hate to see it give back, but you're also wanting to ride this thing because it could really go. So, it's the gamble that you're willing to do. I mean, you're willing to, right now I'm willing to give up profits on the second half of the trade that I've currently got in the trade. I'm willing to give that up, but stop out your puts at break even, right where you bought them. because you're trying to play for the bigger move, okay? And that's what I'm looking for. Now, I would not be surprised to see this pull back up to the trend line, a little bit of a pullback. I mean, see how they had this move and had a little bit of pullback in here. We might get a little bit bigger. Sometimes you get these little snapbacks. Nothing goes down in a straight line forever. Okay, so could get a little pullback, or we could gap down. I mean, you just don't know. Now, the official break of this trend line, like this is a Head and Shoulders top. I mean, it's looking pretty clear to me that that's what that is. You know, and the Elliott wave count struck me as 5 primary waves up, and I think we're in corrective mode now, but this Head and Shoulders just looks beautiful, and the symmetry looks really, really nice. And the other thing I noticed when I was looking at this the other day is on this move up in here, notice how it didn't even have the power to come up and completely close this gap. Okay, so the low right here was 55.86 and had this big gap. Well, it didn't even have enough power to get up there and close the entire gap. And so that, you know, that was probably the first sign that that this was weakening. And then it just rolled over and started to break down. So when I look at it on a weekly chart, it's a little clearer on this trend line from back in mid 2012 that it's broken this trend line on a close. You know, very nice, pretty clear, you know, in terms of that kind of a break. And you can see the red line I got in here. Well, that's the divergence that was showing up on all 3 indicators on a weekly chart that told you that this thing, you know, the end was near. Okay, I mean, it was topping out. So let's go back to a daily. So now what I'd really like to see to break this neckline is you need a close down below it. And the traditional, if you want to call it traditional, the official, the way the stock trends manuals would say is that you need a 3% break. I don't know that anybody really holds to that necessarily, but if you had a 3% break, it'd be down around 40 of the trend line, it'd be down around 47, 46.9. But I would just like to see a nice solid close below this line in here to confirm the break, okay? Because I don't see this little move as a confirmation that it's breaking through the neckline by any means. But when it does break, this is the head, this is the width of the head, and here is the Head and Shoulders projection. Okay, so you take the distance here, and I'm using a semi-log, so I literally take like a business card and measure the distance on the chart on my screen, and literally then just place it right here and put it down, and that's the projection you get is 38. Now, when or if this breaks, number one, how long is it going to take to get to 38? I have no idea. I mean, sometimes these things chop around. It could take 3 months. Sometimes it goes there in 3 weeks. So anyway, that's the assessment on Valero. Right now it's looking good. We're in on the second half, and we're going to see if we can ride this thing. And I will keep updating where I've got as a stop. Of course, the stop on the second half is break even. I'm not going to take a loss on the second half because we've got a profit on the first half. This trade will be a profitable trade. It already is a profitable trade. You have to make sure that it stays a profitable trade. That's the objective. The objective is not to be absolutely right in that I ride it all the way down to 38 because, you know, even if I get out, there's probably going to be a great opportunity to get back in. Okay, let's take a look at 3D systems. This is one I'm watching. I don't have a specific play on this right now, an entry point, let's put it that way. But again, I think this is one that topped out up here 5 major waves up, and it's corrected down. And I really thought that maybe this correction was going to be enough. But then when I got this move, a clear ABC type move, not a 5 wave, but a clear 3 wave, well then that's a counter. I mean, that's a corrective move. Okay, so that clearly, the only thing I could think to label this was an X, what we call an X, because now what we're doing is we're doing a combined corrective mode where we're combining like a zigzag with something else. And what we don't know, this right now looks like another zigzag. You can connect zigzag to zigzag, you can correct zigzag to flat. Right now this looks like another zigzag. So I'm seeing 5 little waves down to an A, and now I've got 3 waves up to a B, and I'm watching to see if this is going to roll over. You know, you look at the moving averages, the 55 is here below the 233. The 21 is below the 55. So the intermediate trend is still to the downside. Clearly, now we haven't gone to a new low here. So that's an interesting point. But we're gonna watch this. Let me blow this up a little bit. Let's see. Look at this trend line. Let me get my crosshairs back. I find it easier to align. Okay, so here's the other thing that we're, you know, kind of looking at this. That's one way to look at it. And so if I start to we get a close down below this, very close here on Friday. The moving average 52.04. It closed 52.08. So yes, it was slightly above the 10-day moving average. And so what I'm watching for is a breakdown of this. And so, you know, how far, where could it go if it starts to break down? I mean, when you look at what this has done, I mean, look at, you know, look how fast and far this can go and what it's done just in short periods of time. I mean, it was all the way up here above 95, and in 3.5 months it got cut in half. Okay. You know, and so then, you know, you're down here around 45. Next thing you know, you're up here to almost 70, you know, in a, you know, month and a half, 2 months. Yeah, so this thing can move pretty good distance pretty quickly. So what I'd be looking for is on it, if this is an ABC zigzag, I'd be looking for where does C equal A. Okay, so let me come down here to A, come back to the end of B, and it's all the way down here. I don't know if it's going to go that far, you know, point wise, because look how big this move is. I mean, this 46 to almost 70, I mean, that's, you know, 24 points, 23 to 24 points. And, you know, right up in here is 54. So, yeah, I mean, you could, you know, you could see a move that big. We're just going to have to watch the wave count to see what develops in here. I'm not predicting that. I'm just saying that, you know, that's the kind of potential that we could have if this thing starts to break down. So that's what I'm watching for. Or does it morph into something else? I mean, right now the 10 is above the 21, but my radar is to the downside. Okay, that's it on 3D systems. And so we'll continue to watch on a daily basis to see. Again, I'm watching 40-some stocks. So you know, usually something's going to develop on a daily basis, and if it does, I will put the trade idea out on the Trade Ideas webpage, and I usually tweet about it or something to that effect. But I've got videos going out. I mean, I'm talking about videos on I got Monday night, we'll be doing an update tomorrow night, market update, Wednesday night, and then Saturday. But you know, typically I've got videos that are going out in terms of updates on, you know, on the off days too, on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. So, all right, everyone have a great rest of the weekend. This has been Joe for Beyond the Chart. If you felt like the video was helpful, please share it on social media. And if you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Just click the little red box here and first name and email, and you're good to go. You have access to the Trade Ideas page, and you can download the PDF I've got for you, and you get email notifications of when I've got new posts and that type of thing. So I think that's it for today. And I'm looking to see if my Cowboys know how to play football today. We'll find out. They didn't act like it too well last week. So, all right, this has been Joe for Beyond the Chart. Have a great weekend.